Hello anyone and welcome back to 999 for what might be the last episode, but I said that last time and had to fake you out, so my apologies again. This time we're going straight in to check out Sheldrake 5. It says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Yes? Can I take Sheldrake 5? Did I miss clicking on this or something?
Sheldrake 5?
Okay, we're not done talking about it. Fine.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
I'm assuming you're about to enlighten us.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
Oh!
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory.
Honestly, by now I had completely forgotten that we'd had that conversation.
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
Okay.
You did? Why?
Well...
Would have made them look pretty suspicious.
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
Tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
Wait,
But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
why? Do you not want Seven to hear?
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice.
I wonder if that was also in the Braille note then and he just didn't translate it.
He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
Yeah.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
So was this really a note from Zero and he just used the rest as an excuse to tell us about the Reds and Deads?
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However,
He put a PS?
they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say, there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator.
Aw, Clover!
It's a threat on our lives.
That's so rude.
Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah, but I guess if it was because Snake was on the ship and might have known who he was if it was Santa.
Yeah.
Took me a minute to think of his name there.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Very much so.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. how the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
Is who did this and why, right?
yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Obligatory fuck you, Ace.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo,
Fuck you, Ace.
Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
We know and we hate you. Oh wait, that's Guy Smiley. Isn't that Guy X? So I guess that would be why he was drugged and shoved in to die. That could be the 9th man? It's hard to tell, and then that must be the captain. Huh. So they were all here. Huh.
Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division.
And that would also be why he would listen to what Ace told him to do.
Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment.
And now they're all conveniently either dead or still have a bomb in them. Maybe he wanted Ace to go with him so he could shoot him afterwards to finish off all of them.
Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
But then, if he'd made the technology, wouldn't he have known that his bracelet was gonna blow him up? I don't know, I'm probably reading too much into this.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonori Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation?
I love that he's telling us this when we probably haven't even seen all these explained.
Experiments with humans produce the same results.
Or at least doesn't know that they were brought up.
The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it.
Okay, we're going full Son of Sam here.
Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
By feeding it the answers they wanted, I guess?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding.
I mean, can't do a handstand anyway, so joke's on you.
Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, If there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
Or if that one person is like, hey, buy your drugs from Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
I think that's been brought up.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
Because the Nonary Games is just like an entire messed up massive version of it.
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project.
Oh, fun.
The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
And that's presumably the one that Seven traced everyone back to.
Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
Yeah, so Lotus's twins, Snake and Clover, and then presumably I'm right about Santa and June.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic.
Oh, so it is the Gigantic. I wasn't sure if that was just a, it might be the Gigantic and not a ship built like it. Okay.
From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I was wondering if they were just like given the puzzles or something, but if it was a perfect duplicate, then that'll be how that worked.
Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A.
I mean, realistically, they were just asking to create a ton of trauma and get a revenge plot, weren't they? That's pretty evil.
If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of Epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage.
I wonder which group the girl who died was in then.
That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Huh.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Yeah, because earlier didn't someone say there were 16?
Why?
I had that written down.
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment.
Was that a cover-up to avoid getting out that one of them died then?
After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
And that could be how he didn't know that it happened to Akane, which seems increasingly likely.
They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was Akane.
Yep! Oh! I called it!
That was the girl who died.
Akane Kurashiki died?
Haha.
9 years ago? Then, who is June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely.
But then why was she on this ship now if she wasn't involved?
So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
I wonder if they Aliced June then.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right? I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
Although I imagine if they're childhood friends, then he might have known she had a brother with that name, but... who knows? For now, back to Sheldrake 5. Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. I guess we should press this button. Oh! What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. This looks like an output monitor. I bet the letters you type in on the keyboard will show up here. There's a keyboard in front of the numbers, and there are 4 Roman numerals on the wall. It's got to be a hint of some sort. Okay, so that's 13, 14, 10, 13, I think. They're all Roman numerals, and let me guess, they're hexadecimals. Do you think we just need to put in the numbers from the wall on the keyboard? No, you can't. The keyboard doesn't have any number keys. I think we have the hexadecimal file this time, at least. You can't type in stuff like 3 or 4. Then that means... Well, I can bet you've got to type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. Hit enter once you type in the letters. I would like to see the file screen, please. And you can erase what you typed. I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, I do get it. I just want to look at the what is Snake doing. If you convert them to Arabic numerals, you'll have 13, 14, 10, and 13. True. But this keyboard only has letters, so we can only enter 4 letters. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it won't let me see the thing! Then why don't you just convert the numbers to letters? Convert the numbers to letters? Thank you! There we go. Thank you. So, 10 is A. 11, 12, 13 is C. 14 is D. Let's try that. So, C, D, A, C. No. Huh. Ugh. Why isn't this working? Hey, Junpei, I was thinking. Isn't this kind of like that other one? Other one what? Come on, you remember. The one in the captain's room. Yeah, the 0 one. That's the chart I just used. So it's definitely 13, 14, 10, 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I just can't count. Oh, it says dead. That makes much more sense than stack. Let's just forget I did that, shall we? That's much more meaningful and ominous. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now! Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? Just makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up. Is it finally Alice time? Alright, let's get this thing open. You found it! Woohoo! My page of notes gets even more insane.
Alright, this is the next.
Ugh, the door!
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see. Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey! Wait a minute! Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Oh, man.
Looks that way.
Oh boy!
No way!
For real?
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer. I rather doubt that, however, so it would be wise to start looking.
Great.
We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it.
No pressure.
All right then. Let's begin.
Time for more puzzling. Why do I always do this the day before I'm going to be travelling again? It's 20 to midnight and I have to do an escape room. Right, study it is.
Hey Junpei, isn't this a nautical table?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. Great. Let's check that out, I guess. The faded line on the right edge must be attached to the line on the left edge. Okay, great. I'm assuming that'll be relevant later.
Look Junpei, the rest on here looks like Elvis's face.
Yeah. How exciting. Does it? I'm just not gonna question that, I guess. There are piles of stuff everywhere. Man, this place is a mess.
It's so messy, I don't know where to start.
Some of this looks familiar. I get a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we've solved in the other rooms. Yep. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles he'd need to see his plan come to fruition. Yeah, also, how did they get on the ship again to set all this up?
There are some more computer monitors on this desk.
You don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. I can see some sort of big machine on the other side of all this. There's a control panel in front of the big screen here. Wonder if any of these buttons do anything. There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the bottom green.
Hey Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle?
This piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try again. Anyway, it looks like I just need to make all of the cells all green. Or all ice. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Okay, so A equals D plus 1 plus 9, so that's 10 plus D, which is 13. So, come back, paper. I'm not done with you yet. A equals 23. So we need to get this to equal 23, so that is D, which is 13, 6, so this must be 4. Oh. Do I really not even have to do the maths? I just have to click. I'd much rather have to do the maths, and I know that's not a thing that CA ever normally says, but at least that has some logic, whereas this is just, huh? Oh, they have different... No, that's still the same. But if I can't change the numbers, then... Oh, I guess I have to take some out that mess things up. Oh, this is going to be awful. Right, what's 6FB? 6, 15, that's 21. B is 11. So that's 32. Oh, good lord, I'm gonna have to draw this out. D, 6, 4, 1, 9, F, B, 5, C. So that one is good, and that one is good. So we need to keep those ones lit up, so it's these ones and these ones that are changeable. So 9 plus B plus C equals 9 plus B, 11, so that's 20, plus C equals 32. So we need to take away the 9? So yeah, those two need to be off, and then these two need to be off. Okay. So which one of these needs to go back? 4 plus 6 plus D is 13. So those should be on. Oh, this is so tricky! Help me, random clicking. You know what? This is the kind of puzzle that just utterly melts my brain. For your sake and mine, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, thank you IGN. So reset. Center box, the top left, and the middle right. I would never have got that on my own, or if I did it would have taken me 10 years, so... You did it, Junpei! Yeah, sure. You're so smart! You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. Just what I would have expected of you, Junpei. You expected too much from me. Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. Whoa, whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't got time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. The cross emblem. Okay, where's the fire emblem? Unfortunately, he's in this room and I don't trust him. A metal plate shaped like a shield. There's a cross engraved on it. At least he's only hanging out on the rug with his giant mouse and not bothering me currently. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Okay. I mean, yeah, we're gonna need 4 of them. What do you think? I feel symbols engraved just above each indentation. On the upper left is the steering wheel. On the upper right, the cross. On the bottom left, the mysterious circle. And lastly, the waffle pattern is engraved near the bottom right. Additionally, each symbol seems to have been given a number. 1, steering wheel, 2, cross, 3, mysterious circle, and 4, waffle patterns. Perhaps we need to insert the emblems in this order. That order, huh? Okie doke. We'll come back to that when we have more. Let's see what happens when I... Whoa. Well, now we've got something on the screen, at least. Huh? What is this? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out that Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah. The dots on here look like dits for Morse code. There's 2 dots on the first line, 4 on the second, and 1 on the last. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, perhaps you should give it a shot anyway. Alright, I'll try. Before I do that, though, maybe I ought to run through the instructions. If I just tap the button, it'll enter a dit. If I hold the button down, it'll enter a da. Is that what they're called? That's fun. Once we enter our answer, it'll automatically determine if it was the correct answer or not. Alright, let's do this. Is there a hint for this anywhere? Like, there's gotta be a hint somewhere, right? You can't just give me that and be like, haha, you can't do this. Okay, can't do the one thing of Morse code that I actually know. I mean, there's gotta be a hint somewhere, right? No, I don't want to do it again. Leave me alone. Steel cabinet with a double door. This monitor is part of this machine. It's really dim though. It's got a map of the world on it, but I can barely see it. Oh, the other thing was on the file screen, okay.
Junpei, it looks like there's a compass on there.
Now I get it.
What do you mean?
I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I solved a puzzle like this one in the wheelhouse. I think I just need to do the same thing here.
The same thing?
The important part's that this nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the nautical table. I used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm going to use the wheel attached to the side here.
Okay then, show me, now.
Yeah, they are all meant to look like other puzzles we've come across, but of course one of those was the only other puzzle I ever had to look up, which was the other Hell Square. Can I see the file? No. Okay, great. There we go, so I think it starts here, so that would be south, west, southeast, northeast, east, northeast. Let's give that a go. So south? Did I miss? Good lord. Yeah, I know how to do it, it just didn't work. South. West. Southeast. Northeast. East. North. East. Well, basic map reading has been achieved. Why are you calling me a good boy? Knock it off. Hey, we don't have time screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. I mean, rather than June, to be fair, I'd much rather marry Clover and gain Snake as a brother-in-law. That sounds way more fun than dealing with the Santa June mess. Slid open and something came out. It's the wheel one. A noise, huh? There's the helm emblem. The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Alright, let's open it. Okay! That's pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in there. A coffin that says all ice. Does Seven think? Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way. Could this be... I'm sorry, but what's going on?
It's a coffin. I wonder if there's a vampire in it.
More likely a mummy. Right, I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. Man, I can't bring myself to tell them. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. Well, we found it! Metal plaque, Snake's touching it. All ice. Ah, the two machines. Man, this is serious. Ah well, let's open it, shall we? Clover, if you could give me a hand.
Okay, I got it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Huh. Ugh. No luck, it doesn't seem to be ready to open.
Yeah, but it's not like it's screwed shut or something.
Yeah, so I believe it's locked in some other way.
Hey, Seven, do you think you could open it with your superhuman strength?
No,
What's wrong?
I think I'll just pass on this one, okay?
What the heck?
Very well, I'll just have to give up on the coffin for now. Let's look around the room a little more, shall we? Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge, beneath the navel of the Gigantic. Is that actually true? I, for one, would love to know. There's something written on these pieces of paper. Looks like we've got 3 sheets of the stuff. You're not about Morse code, are you? Because that would be really useful. Yeah, we saw that one. What else is new? Oh, Morse code charts! Fantastic! Okay, so... how many things could we put in? Why does it navigate like this? Have you figured out what you're supposed to enter? It looks like the word that's supposed to go here has 3 letters. 3 lines, and each line is 1 letter. I see. Well, if that's the case, then perhaps the symbols you need are made up of 2, 4, 1. Yes, that is what I needed to know. Thank you, Snake. After all, isn't that what you just said? One line has 2 spaces, the next 4, and the last only a single space. So in other words, I've got to enter either the dots or the dashes, in a set of 2, then 4, then just 1. Yes, well, so it would seem. I don't actually want to do this now. I would like to look at the thingies. Oh, brilliant. Okay, it's giving me them. So 2 could be A, or I. Or M. Or N. Good lord. Then 4 could be B or C. F or H. J, L, P or Q. V, W, Y or Z. Oh good lord. So that's like all of the consonants, great. And then 1 can be E. Is this going to be ice? Let's see if it's ice. I didn't mean to do that. Right, so what's A? Okay, it's not ice. We know now. So you could be... That's an E. I made it look like a C somehow. Okay, you can only be E or T, so that should be easy-ish to work out. So it's not ice. Oh, good lord. And there aren't really any vowels in the middle, apart from possibly O, which isn't on there. What did I write there then? My handwriting is truly a curse. What did I write there? Oh well. So... Oh, it's a J. Great, can't even get my own initial right. Hate that for me. So if it's a consonant, could be... act, I guess? That's my next best guess. Nope, okay. Oh. Really? It's not Ace? I really thought it had a good chance of being Ace, and that was meant to be some clue to the pharmaceutical thing. Oh. Mr. Emblems, stand away from the PC. I know I'm looking for emblems, but not the fire one. I'm also just staring at this list of letters like it'll help me at all. Perhaps it could be ICT and it's just the computer department. What the heck else am I gonna try? I really wish it would, like, show you if one of the letters was right, because I'm quickly running out of ideas here. Maybe it's morphogenic field experiment initials? Nope. That Longku, no. Lurk. No, no, no. No! Not again! Damn it! Right, thank you, Longku the idiot, for nothing. He managed to step on my PC again without me realising, until too late. I've literally never shut the cats out of this office before, but I cannot have him in here when I'm recording on PC, is what I've learnt. So I caught back up to where we were, and I looked up this puzzle as well, and I'm mad at it, because ice was literally the first thing I tried, but apparently that is the solution. But it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, for goodness sake, was it just inputting wrong this whole time? Oh, I could have saved myself so much pain. Wow, Snake. And I'm proud of you, but I'm too mad to read these. Okay. Coffin potentially being unlocked is alarming. But back to it, I guess. Maybe I'll save, actually. I did just save, but to be on the safe side. Right, fine, I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. It's just a box. Oh, this is a coffin. There is going to be something horrible in there, I just know it. Okay, deep breaths. Here we go. Oh man, there's nobody in there. Can't believe I was scared of something like that. What do you mean, nobody? Were you expecting someone to be in there? I mean, that's not what her coffin looked like on the previews we got of it. It's a long story. Ask Junpei about it sometime. Well, just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. There is something in there, though. Well, two somethings, actually. What is that? Crest and the key. Nice. There are two things on the bottom of the coffin. Looks like we've got a plate with an emblem on it, and... The Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it! Now we can get through the hallway. That's correct, Clover, but we do need to get out of this room first, you know. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's get the heck out of here as quickly as possible. I don't have any objections to that. Yeah, me neither. Do. Let's go put the things in the thing. I don't think I actually looked at this earlier, so... Snake, would you like to tell me the order? So, wheel, cross, circle, and waffle, which is coffin. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, you actually have to do them in. So, wheel. Oh! Well, now we've got something on the monitors at least. What's that? Looks like some kind of puzzle. I wonder if these are the rules.
Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a numbered area, that area will be selected, and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to be moved to that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Press the check button once you have moved all the balls, except for the red ones, which you cannot move. The digital route of the balls in an area must match the number for that area. That's it. Oh, it's more digital routing. Hate that for me. Practice makes prefects. Don't you mean practice makes perfect? Hey. Let's see you solve the next one, then you can make fun of me. Oh, Snake would be much quicker at these than me, I'm sure, if we just read them out to him. Right, okay, so... It's basically door duty, isn't it? But we can't use the 9. So 3 we want to make... 12, presumably? So... Oops. 3. 8... That makes 11, that makes 12, which should make 3. And then 6... that would be 11 plus 4 is 15. Oh, I have to use all of them? Oh no! That makes my life much harder. Right. So, if we say... That's not it. If we just put those into there for now, what is the digital route of this slot? 10, 18, 19, 21, which is still 3. Okay. Nice! Okay, this is it, right? But nothing's happening.
There are still 3 more indentations left empty. I imagine something will happen when they're all filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Oh, this is gonna suck! Right, what was the second one? The cross. Let's put in the emblem of the cross. Hey Junpei, something just showed up on the screen.
This puzzle sure looks a lot like the last one.
Yeah, but there's more of those red balls you can't move.
The numbers for each area are different too.
Looks like it's got the same rules as the last one, though. You sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. If I get confused, I can just look at the screen over there, right? Anyway, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that a picture is worth 1,000 words? Hey, shut it. At least I'm trying, alright. Not very hard, clearly. Okay, so... For 1, we need to make 10, ideally. And then, does this conveniently add up to 7? That's 10. 15. No. Okay. So... Or 21, I guess. This is going to be irritating. Ah! I keep pressing back instead of reset. Yeah, I want to do the puzzle! Ah! That's 10, that's 9, so 19, so that doesn't work. 10. And that would be 11, 19. Okay. We figured it out eventually. That one took me a while, but that's awesome, Junpei. There's only 2 left now. You can do it. Sure hope so. Right, 3 was this one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last one. Funny that. 3rd time. If you can't think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something. Oh, shut up! Just give me a break, alright? I'll think of something. Snake is still the best. Just saying. Ooh, 7 and 7. That's fun. So they both have to equal 16, presumably. That was really easy. Okay, we love that. Excellent work, Junpei. You've only got one left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, me too. See what happens when I put the emblem of the coffin into this one. This is the fourth one. This puzzle looks a lot like that last couple.
I think this is probably the last one.
Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. Alright, I'll solve it in no time. I flipping hope so. It's getting late. It's half midnight. Okay, 8 and 9. So, alternatively, 17 and 18. Or we might actually have to make just one of the numbers be what they are this time, because... But I don't think we can with what we have. Because they have to be between 3 and 5, don't they? So... Although, can they? Because... Yeah. But one of them does only need 2, so the other option is... Nope. Darn, I might actually have to brain. Also, I can hear a cat trying to break through the door. If that comes through on the mic, ignore them. I'm mad. Yeah. So... I don't think there's any way to make 8 with the numbers that are here. Which surely means that either 2 or 7 or 4 or 5 must be the 9, but neither of those worked out. So 2, 7, 8 is... By the way, that's 9 plus 8, which is 17, yeah. 2, 4, 5 is 6, 11, which is 2. 4, 5, 7, that's 9, 16, which is 7. 5, 7, 8. 12 plus 8 is 20, which is 2, that doesn't help us. 7 plus 7 is 14, no. 7 plus 8 is 15. Oh, it's a trick question. Darn you. The goal is to use all the balls, not to hit both targets. Fine. I had to look that one up in case it wasn't obvious by my confusion. Huh? Where did that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard.
Way to go, Junpei! You answered all the questions!
Turn, Junpei. Good job. Hey, did you hear something just now? Yes, I heard that as well. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe. Yeah, I hear you, Longku. You're not coming back in. Ooh.
A picture? What the?
Uh-oh.
What the hell is this?
Uh-oh.
This man with a mustache on the right. He's the same guy we found murdered in the captain's quarters. He had the Zero bracelet on his left arm. And this second man, with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man, the one with bracelet number 9. He died after he went into door 5. But this guy, the one in the striped suit... Oh man, that's Ace.
Yeah, I guess it is.
No doubt about it.
But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture?
And so the pieces come back together.
Not only Ace, the 9th man and Cap too.
And, Mr. X, although we don't know that yet because we only saw him in the flashback.
And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How? How in the world are these 4 men connected?
You say Ace is in that picture?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger.
Or 9, perhaps?
Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see it.
No, there's one more guy. He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize.
What's the date of the photograph?
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the back?
The back?
Yes, the reverse. The other side.
Huh. Praying for the success of the Nonary project.
Ooh.
With Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido. Huh. Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonary game 9 years ago. That means Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen. But I feel like I should be more shocked about this.
And you already know it from the ending we had to play first.
It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be.
Ah, always supposed to be, yes. That's grammar.
Why? Why am I not surprised? Ace was the one in charge of the Nonary project, but
I find it so wild that the reason you had to get the safe ending first was presumably so that you could Nonary games it and prove the point of the fields in the real ending.
then why? Why am I so calm? It's like I already knew.
Ah, of course. I understand now. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, you were real mad at him last time.
He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo.
Ace is Hongo?
I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were similar. Too similar to be a coincidence.
Yeah, it's interesting that he does recognize that, and Ace killed him, I'm doing air quotes but you can't see him, because he thought he could identify him, so that works out.
I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him. Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened if I did.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was Hongo.
Oh, yes. I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago, you were in Building Q in Nevada, but Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
Huh.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like.
Yeah, I guess that does explain that, because I hadn't really thought to question that bit.
But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I'd told you, Clover, you would have told everyone else. And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that.
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture for a sec?
Sure.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
Hey, Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet. I'm this close to remembering. This close. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
Yeah, so far in this run we've had Clover and Snake's backstory. So this is us catching up with Seven. We're picking up aces as we go, so I guess we'll have an info dump from Lotus when we find them, and then whatever the heck is happening with Santa and June.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nonary project. Shit.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit, this is nuts.
What's nuts?
I remember
Remember what?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it. My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched.
What?
Let me tell you what happened. Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo from the right. The other three are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kubota. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you everything.
Well, we don't have 3 days.
Just give us the short version, all right?
Short version, huh? All right, fine. I'll give it a shot. No promises, though. I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told. That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been cold as fuck, and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. It all had one thing in common: a history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. And my investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings.
Well, I guess we didn't have to do the torture room as part of the safe ending, did we? So if you haven't done all the endings, this will be new information.
After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. My source told me this.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
So I headed to the wharf. From the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. The bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding, my gun already in my hand.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it, too. Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one would find you for a week.
I wonder why that didn't happen. But yeah, this is interesting, because also in the route we played, he still didn't get his memory back entirely, so this could be fun.
That what you want? The fish here would love a meal.
He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle.
A drug?
That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it! Shit, my head hurts. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink, a toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying. But I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5, or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold on. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then... Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside. The first bit or so was tight. I had a wriggle on my belly. It wind up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along on my hands and knees. I went from crawling like a worm in dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in the thing long enough to start wondering where it'd take me, a massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door had just been slammed shut. Then there was a voice.
Ah, yes. That's much more than we got last time we were in there, I think.
What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news. Then, almost as if that was a cue, I heard a mess of young-sounding voices. A bunch of them were straight up screaming in terror, and all the sounds together made a howl that made the hair on my neck stand straight up.
There's a carny stuck in the incinerator.
Damn it! What the hell is going on here? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place? I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome up top, and there had to be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney.
Ah, you found the incinerator. Wonderful.
I looked down. There they were. The kids I'd been searching for.
Okay, so that looks like one of Lotus's kids. That's Akane. I guess one of these could be Santa, probably that one. Wonder who that is.
They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent, for the moment, from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Probably both, actually. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there, frozen.
I mean, yeah, how are they going to believe you?
Well, except one. He was a boy,
Hey.
slightly older than the others, in a private school uniform.
Aw, little guy. Tiny Santa.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously.
Oh, the other one was probably Snake, yeah.
I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out.
How are you gonna help us?
Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there...
He kinda cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death.
Burned to death?
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. So...
The voice spoke again.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor.
Yeah, so, hello Snake, my beloved.
No way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there, I'm gonna be right back.
What?
Are you gonna get the blankets from the bed to make a rope?
Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here?
They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I tried to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as a guy could on his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of there, but I had a plan. I needed something from the room.
The toilet?
When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me.
Yeah.
Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into strips and tied them together to make a rope. It was sloppy, but it got the job done. All right, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
Right.
Huh. Wait a sec. Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them.
Why not?
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door.
He was in the middle of explaining when...
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
The wall shook a bit from the voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, all right? Just get us out of here!
Right! I grabbed onto the rope. The first one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. A boy in a jacket came after. He said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in.
God damn it! What's going on here?
Hello.
Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids?
The door opened, and a man stepped in looking half mad with fury.
So that's how Santa knew who Ace was, I guess.
I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my investigation. The man's name was Gintaro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Yeah! It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope. Hurry!
I know!
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit!
15 feet. 10. The second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face. He was really a terrifying devil or some kind of damn monster. I quickly reeled in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me from the floor.
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment!
I mean, how dare you roast 4 children?
Experiment? What experiment?
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the hell are you doing? Hurry up!
The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. I may have thrown a salute in the raging asshole's face before I closed the door behind me. No point to going back to the cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. Everybody nodded and took turns sliding down it. The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door, but the one on the right was familiar. It had black and yellow stripes, and a device next to it on the wall. A plate on it read, Incinerator. Incinerator?
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looks like it's been shut off, though.
Wait, what? If he's still in there...
Yeah, that's not good.
That meant we'd better... We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door, hurry! The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. We went up and up and up. Our feet pounded the steps, our arms pumping fast. We went round and round and round. The devil was on our tail.
I mean, he kind of was.
The stairway kept going. We passed a couple of landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke.
Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us.
Akane?
My kid's sister. The girl with the red necktie.
Akane. That's strange. I didn't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
Nobody answered him.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too, and so did the other 2 kids. When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
Why would you do that without saying something, though?
No, that's impossible.
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs.
He turned to go.
Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait!
I don't think the kid even heard me.
Fuck!
I spun around to the boy in the jacket and the girl with the ponytail.
I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? You got...
The girl nodded and ran up the stairs. But the boy...
I'm going with you.
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. I could hear him following me. We ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Akane was nowhere to be found.
God damn it, where the hell did she go?
I could tell the kid was frustrated, and then suddenly...
Help me! Somebody help me!
We heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed in after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Akane by the arm and was forcing her into the incinerator.
Come on, goddammit, move!
No, I don't want to! Let me go, please! Let go of me!
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win. My brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo.
Help me!
Ah! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting him, into the incinerator.
I don't get what he wants from this, because why would you want to incinerate your test subjects? When if you've got successful ones, surely you can study them more.
Before we could even blink, Hongo had leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside. And then, the door slammed shut. We ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open. But...
Fuck! It's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch!
He started slamming his fists against the door. He was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it.
Also, why is Ace in the incinerator if it's gonna go off? That's a dumb move on his part as well.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
You came back!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes.
Nice of them to reset it.
Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat.
Funny that 18 has a digital root of 9.
Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's the same damn thing!
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, alright? We're gonna figure out a way to save you.
His words would have seemed like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was right then.
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Please help me!
Also wild that they're just subtitling it as Kane now. They're not even trying.
I'm really scared! I don't want to die, please! I don't want to die!
It's gonna be alright. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise!
It was torture listening to her sobbing on the other side of the door. Her brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white.
What happened then?
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Then...
Yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered.
Hey, are you sure?
Huh?
Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl, Akane, really...
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something... burning. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up anymore. A few minutes passed. The door opened.
What visual are we about to get?
The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet running in. We followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made my lungs feel like they were on fire. It was like standing on hot asphalt. The air was wavering, and in the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad, I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Can I ask you one more thing?
What's that?
The girl, Akane. What was her last name?
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay? Please?
Kurashiki. Her name was Akane Kurashiki.
Well, this is a mystery.
You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You are correct, Detective. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago.
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada, in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you.
Well, I guess I believe you. All right, let me ask you another question.
I wonder if then the kids who were left in the incinerator were actually meant to be frozen to be used in further experiments. And that's why Akane has reappeared, seemingly alive. Maybe she got Aliced.
Santa's real name is Aoi Kurashiki. He's Akane's brother. You know that?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki was her brother. But I didn't know he was Santa. At least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now.
Yep.
I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi.
When did you figure it out?
Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago, while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling.
Santa is Aoi? Akane Kurashiki, June's brother? There's still a lot we don't know.
Yeah, like how June is here.
I mean, like a lot. But there is one thing I think we can say we know.
Because Santa gazing longingly at the picture of Akane made it seem like she wasn't still around. But I guess this makes sense in the I Lost episode when June was stabbed, because if the whole point was to get revenge on Ace and Co., she wasn't meant to die again, presumably.
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake.
What?
Come on, man, what kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already?
To be fair, I don't know how we would.
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Cut me some slack.
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonori Project. Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death of his sister. That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone. If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words, Ace.
What?
What the hell's going on here?
Have we reached the time limit?
It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Yep.
Shit!
Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.
Keycard 0. I'm gonna save, but then let's heckin' go! Junpei, look! It's unlocked! Yeah, now we can get back to the library. Hurry up, Junpei, we don't have time. Let's go! Alright, let's go. Still no sighting of the real Alice or Lord Gordain, but we found it!
Huh. I think the shaking stopped.
Gained all memories of escape in 999. Yeah, we did all the escape rooms then.
It would seem so, but we are yet to be out of danger.
You're right. Let's hurry.
This exit needs the Uranus card too. Hey, Junpei.
Yeah, I know. All right, it's open. Let's go. Okay, Neptune Key, let's see if you work. Yes! I think it unlocked. It says incinerator. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door.
Yeah, right here.
Pull that and the door should open.
Got it. Let's go. What the hell is going on? What's wrong? Are you okay?
Jumpy, you came to get me.
Of course I did. I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
I don't trust any of this.
Hey, what happened to you?
I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though.
Are you sure?
I wonder if her sudden illness is that she's dying now that she's been unfrozen.
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me.
Santa.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
Did he get shot?
I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun.
They? Ace and Lotus. See, Lotus is the only missing piece, but she said that she used to work cybersecurity until a thing happened, which was never explained, so was she also involved in the games? But then why would she put her own children in it?
What? Who took it?
What? Isn't that obvious?
I took the gun.
Ace.
Oh, we're just doing this again. Okay.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals?
You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that.
I don't like you.
You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
I'm sorry, how much you suffered? Your pain?
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. First is 1. Give me your hand. 8. And with this, 9.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
I believe I've won this game. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is. What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye.
I hope whatever doom he's going to, he's only taking Lotus if she's actually involved and not just dragging an innocent into whatever Santa's final plan is.
Wait! What? Why isn't it opening?
Because you were meant to get stuck in the incinerator, I'm assuming. But also, don't we know now that there's a staircase outside the door that we can run up, like... You were all there, or most of you were.
One more time. Now open! No! What is this? Why? That digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Maybe he has Zero's bracelet rather than the Ninth Man's. Although I don't know when he would have got that, because we had it last I checked.
Now! No!
Oh, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Don't mention it. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat.
9 years ago? Then you must be...
Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass.
Oh.
Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
Oh, right. You don't know yet. All right, we'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him.
Hilarious, given that he was the scientist who did the things. I swear if Ace turns out to be Zero after all this, I'm gonna scream.
The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital route, which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen. That was why you killed Kubota, but he was only the first.
I think those are the reasons Ace gave us in the last one, yeah. Hilarious that Junpei just remembers them now.
Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki?
Nah.
Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me.
That impression is about as good as any of mine are.
But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
And you mean to say Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead.
You know what? That's fair enough.
Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
Oh, so did he sneak ahead with it in the puzzle while we were talking in this room, go kill the captain, and then come back? Because I was wondering how he was meant to get away with doing this one.
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the Nonary project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it.
Yeah, why was he in there?
You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest.
And also, how did he know it was him if... Oh, I guess dressing him like the captain and giving him the Zero bracelet would have meant that with his inability to recognize faces, he would have been an idiot and assumed it was Zero. But that is very idiot behavior, because literally me and Clover walked in there and went, yeah, there's no heckin' way.
One blow was all it took, and then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest?
Oh, was the checking the notes thing to return the pocket watch?
You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate, but what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace, Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why?
Because of this.
What's with the paper?
Just read it.
I wonder if that's the note from the safe.
Let's see. Number 1, there are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the Nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. Zero.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted.
Oh yeah, 'cause he was like, do you want to hear my reason why? I wonder what he would have told us at the time.
If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters.
Yeah, never stated who it was.
I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was.
So your plan was to win the nonary games because you thought you knew how it worked, not knowing that the final door wouldn't work, because no way were you going to confess.
I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap.
Yeah, kinda dumb of you.
But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands.
I mean, it's kind of like the Saw thing with, is Jigsaw technically a murderer? Oh, he's never killed anyone. Yet putting people in death games means it's your fault that they're dead, mate.
All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa.
I don't think Santa's Zero.
Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Oh, did you get a note as well?
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Far too many notes for my taste.
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone.
Save someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw...
I wonder if Alice's was the body that they found.
What? What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki? Ugh! Oh, my head! My head, it feels like it's gonna pop!
7! What the hell is going on?
I don't know, I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the Morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic.
That's an interesting point, because if the siblings were split between Nevada and the Gigantic, doesn't that mean Akane should have been in Nevada and not on the ship?
The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't.
Oh.
How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the Morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one answer either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the Morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0, not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go? If she can get things from the future, does that mean that she was genuinely dead all along and she was just transmitting everything to Santa?
Santa!
Wise Clover.
Freeze.
Oh, the gun's back, huh? Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Why would you not watch for that? That's the one thing you know about Santa. He should not be given the gun. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up.
Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but...
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's going to give us? What does that even mean? They're out... And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least 7 headaches gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens.
Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
Oh, you mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Love how we literally know his real name and we're still calling him Santa.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
How do we feel about making a human ladder to get up to the vents that you escaped from last time?
No. No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. We've got to do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just got to... No, it's not going to work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26 to 2 plus 6, which is 8. Yes, but if we still have the 0 bracelet, that's a 6. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. He's going to give them the 0 bracelet and leave himself behind, because with a 6 instead of a 5... Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see.
What?
And there's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Where did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without... if you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Bad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however... I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but...
Yeah, of course. He tried to authenticate and it wouldn't work.
I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier, at the Red.
Oh, yeah.
No! What is this? Why? The digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot?
Yes, that is what I said.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
What I don't get is why Santa would want to leave other people affected by these games behind. Because particularly Seven and Snake did legitimately try to save Akane, so why would he let them die in the incinerator?
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
If we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole Seven popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. Oh, look at this! I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness, was inside of him. Through the morphic field set we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise, like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I find myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and to determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
That was my brother, he was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl was watching them, began to cry. "I want to go home," she cried. "I want to go home." Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the nunnery game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake. Wait, Snake was Light Yagami all along? I'm sorry to ruin the moment, but oh boy.
Hello, everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted.
Is her real name Clover, then?
I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is... well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember.
The origin of the clover thing.
We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all three of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the four-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck?
And Snake hated that because Akane didn't get out.
Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single four-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Now don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was the only one. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors!
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already,
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
my brother Io swallowed hard and answered,
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator. And that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, the door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Ao, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then I had dropped it as we slid out. I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. Oh, this is such a bad move. I mean, if it was a gift from someone you loved, sure, but what you do is you choose to live so you have the chance to see them again. That's more important than anything they've given you before. Because as far as she knew, Junpei was still alive. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom... The door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step. 2 steps. 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then suddenly...
Akane!
The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out. But then...
Ha! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his whole weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator.
Ah!
The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything that he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I was nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later... The 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Man, I knew what it was going to say, but that is one heck of a creepy voice.
I knew it!
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise, I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But...
Incineration will begin in...
Yeah, that must suck for Lotus, because in this one we haven't had the conversation that made her realise this is where her daughters were.
17 minutes.
You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn!
What kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means.
Well...
God damn it! Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. Oh, good. What else can I say about it, but...
What the hell is that?
What is that?
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off even as more took their place and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. So is this happening concurrently, with her in the past and him in the present? And this is how they both get out? I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Ah! Man, I wish that thing would just shut up!
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the heck am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
Oh, our resident hacker! Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you get to shove people around.
Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though?
What is this?
What's up?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle...
the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, that voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. Yeah, you and me both. I'm not good at time limits. But, just for funsies. I don't know if it's actually gonna give me a timer, but just to be safe. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. Does that mean Jumpy now or Jumpy 9 years ago? My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face. A frightening, evil face. It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me?
Ah, don't know what to do.
He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled.
It's simple, really. But I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine.
His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears.
You're a terrible person! I hate you!
Oh my! How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see? I've even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now.
My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you, I'm a fair man.
Huh?
If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape.
So, was the whole point of doing the games again so that 9 years down the line, Akane would get the answer from Junpei in the present and get out? But how does that...
The verification function of the red?
Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1, and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5, the same as Junpei. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
I hear Hongo's muffled voice across the room.
I've already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys.
Huh?
Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
I can't! I don't know how!
Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution.
I can't!
Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it will be very painful.
His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it.
Incineration will begin in 10 minutes.
I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out.
What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating, and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. Hot, couldn't breathe, and feeling dizzy. Is every time that she's been suddenly ill in the game actually just that she's flashing back to this state of being? I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
Help me! Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! 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 Please! Help me! Jumpy!
Akane?
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane?
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
Seven and Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here?
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something!
Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her.
Akane! Answer me! Akane!
Jumpy?
I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course. But I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there.
Jumpy!
I screamed as loud as I could.
Akane!
Jumpy!
That's her. She's there. Then that means...
Akane! Akane!
Are you in an incinerator right now?
Yes, I am! How did you know?
I couldn't believe that he knew that. Now I understand what Santa meant.
Right. There's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
I think I get it now.
Incineration will begin in 7 minutes.
Jumpy, we don't have time!
As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator.
Got it!
And I do. I get everything now. At last I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer. June is. Zero is. Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago.
No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her no matter what.
Incineration will begin in 6 minutes.
The voice reminded me of how much time I had left.
Jumpy!
Yeah, I know. Just hang on, all right? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, all right? Just give me a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. It felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him.
Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Is Snake talking to them about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way!
Hey, what are you...
Just trust me, okay?
Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, alright? Now let's have a look at this thing. We've got numbers all over this grid. I think the panels are out of order. So I just need to switch these out. Staring at it isn't going to accomplish anything. I'll just have to try it.
Just think of what I did all those times before. I'm gonna do this on my own, with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem.
Wow, I have many thoughts, but for now I'll just say, dick move of Santa to put the person who saved him back then in here. Like, of all the people you could have picked, you had to choose 7. I understand the thematic point of putting people in the game. I don't know whether having the same people was meant to increase the field, but... wow. And if Santa was a receiver, then I guess maybe that's how we got the information from her. But she seems a heck of a lot more connected to Junpei. When I pressed hint, numbers appeared in the empty spots on the grid. They're all single digits. I get the feeling the numbers change when I switch out the yellow squares. But this square at the bottom, why does it stay blank when I press hint? Which? I'm not seeing a blank one. Oh, that. Pressing the button again makes the numbers disappear. Looks like I can turn them on and off. Then is there some special meaning to there being 2 modes? What could it mean? I get the feeling that Junpei's seeing one and Akane's seeing the other. I wonder if I have to get all of these to equal 9. Does that do it? So we have to make whatever this is. So they're all digital roots. And I got them all to 9, but clearly that's the wrong answer. But there are letters here too. Yeah. I'm gonna need to write that down because I always forget where it starts. Okay. I think I got a gist of the puzzle up top. I just need to make all the digital routes the same. But what number? Switching out to yellow square affects all hint squares around it. Wait. But one square doesn't get a hint number. The 9th spot at the bottom. Only this one stays blank. Maybe a fixed number goes inside. So the 9th square has a different rule. If only I knew what number goes here. Right, okay. So the adjacent squares of this are 9. So what's W? That would be 4, so it would have to be 5 would be W, I think. Yeah, so 5 is W. Three and 8 is 11. Which makes 2, so R is 0. So we need that to be a 4, ideally. If we're trying to make 5s, that is. Okay, let's work out what all the others are. So W is 5, R is O, or 0 rather. A is... that's 4. So to make 5, A could be 1. 3 plus, that's 4. Plus A. It's 1 or 11. Could be either, I think, but 1 is already there, so possibly 11. Then D would be... that's 4, so we would need 4 probably. Right, are there any letters I haven't worked out? So W, R, A, D. We still need to do S and P, and I think that's it. So that would be 4. So it would need to be 1 or 11 again. Yeah. And then P, that's 2, so that's 4 plus 8. Right. But what number is the missing one that we have to make? I'm not getting any more info from Junpei. And changing so much is just getting messy. Maybe I should reset. I'll set everything back to its original state. Oh, wait a second. When everything is at its original spot, something lines up in the bottom squares. It looks kind of like it should be a word. Huh? Where? I've been taking the bottom squares to mean this. Huh? Any more hints for me, Junpei? Getting too confused, I should reset. Clean start should clear my head. Maybe I can figure out the answer easier that way. I need to find the password. And I found the literal password. Oh. Am I gonna have to work out... Good lord, okay. So... A is 10. A... I wonder if I have a picture of the place where it listed them all. Because I need to know the hexadecimals for password. Do I have a photo of that, or did I just rely on the hint screen? Yes, I do. Thank you, past CA. So P is... Sorry about this, I'm doing it awkwardly on my phone. 10, 11, 12, 13. And D is 10, 11, 12, 13. So, now I need to work out the digital root of password, I guess. So that's... I'm gonna need the calculator, good lord. Let's get these added together. So 25 plus 10 plus 28 plus 28 plus 32 plus 34. Nope, plus 24. My handwriting strikes again. Plus 26 plus 13 is 186, which is 9 plus 6, which is 15. Add them together. That's 6. So is it June's bracelet number all along? And I just got distracted by the 9. Right, so let's figure out these last ones if that's the case. Nope, keep doing that wrong. I really don't want to have to look this up, but I think I need a hint because... Wait, I just had to do that by resetting? Oh, for goodness sake. Well, I was thinking about that way too much. Also, fun fact, I looked this up on a spoiler-free guide, and apparently this is a different solution to the DS version, which is wild. And it's just Sudoku, fun. So this one you have to enter a password. The guide has a couple of hints. When you solved the puzzle on the previous square, the 9 flashed in the empty grid squares. So, could it be... No. Okay, that's too long to have password in hexadecimal. What's hint 2? Thank you, Thonky.com, for your helpful hint things. In the puzzle on the previous screen, there was a single blank square after the word password. I don't think this is helping me all that much. So the number 9 and the single blank square. This is the wrong puzzle to be doing at 2:30 in the morning, good lord. I've been recording this block for 2 hours. Good luck, Future, editing this. Oh, I really want to work it out myself, but I don't know if I'm gonna figure it out. I hate to do this, but just show me the password. Should have seen that coming. Is that your final answer?
Yes, that's it! Akane, did you get it?
Yes, I did! I solved it! I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did! Now I just have to press enter!
Then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it!
Okay, I will!
I hit the enter key.
Emergency shutdown command has been confirmed. Incineration system has been disabled.
Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him, but they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I'd had left disappeared, and I collapsed to the floor. For a while I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst.
Whew.
I can't quite believe I did that. But I am so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. No, I don't have time to be thinking about that. I need to tell Akane.
Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay?
Oh, of course, that's fine!
I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind.
Now.
Well, Seven and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your lives, guys.
Junpei, are you...
Okay?
Shut it!
They seem worried about you not pissed. So maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here goes. Wait.
Incineration will begin in 90 seconds.
It doesn't sound like it's stopping.
What the shit? Why isn't it stopping?
Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again. And again. And again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the heck is going on? I've got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So why isn't this thing stopping?
Incineration will begin in 60 seconds.
Wait, of course. That's what the numbers that show up after the puzzle mean. 2 + 4 + 5 + 7 + 8. Snake, Clover, me, Seven, and Lotus. Then, door 9. No, that's it. That number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that...
Holy heck. Of course. Then we just have to put the right number into the red and...
Incineration will begin in 30 seconds.
Run, guys! Get to the door! Run!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, don't have much time. Man, I sure hope they can just trust me on this or we are all fucked. Alright, no time to explain, just go!
Quick! Verify your numbers on the red!
Verify?
Who?
What combination?
All of us! We all need to verify!
Why?
You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it!
Hurry, 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 hurry!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled.
Talk about cutting it close. Oh, thank everything. No, no time to be happy. Time to go.
Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go!
Come on, guys, move it. Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We still gotta find the dead.
Shit. Looks like we made it, huh?
Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. Snake is shaking his head wearily. I just want to take a nap, but...
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane!
I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel. But nothing. So she did get out. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother.
Akane!
Oi!
I cried his name, even though my voice was almost gone from screaming, and leapt into his arms.
Oh, oi!
Akane!
I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't. The moment I passed through the door, my bracelets had begun the countdown to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective who would call 7 in 9 years, and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open.
Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again.
Aoi was right. It was time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar 7 and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiraling stairs to freedom. Time for more running. But if they can get us out of here, no wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so hard I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. How does this work with the timey-wimey stuff we're messing up? Did we just create a paradox, or is Akane only alive in a parallel universe now? Huh? Is 7 talking?
Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something?
What's up?
That door, the one with the 9 on it. Why'd it open?
Yeah, all 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. That makes our digital root 8. It shouldn't have opened.
That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already.
Huh? Why?
Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases.
Bases?
Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2?
0 and 1.
How about base 10?
That goes from 0 to 9, right?
Then how about base 16?
0 through F. After 9, it starts at A and goes from there. B, C, D, etc.
You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So, what about it?
You don't get it?
No, I don't.
What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16 all the way to base 27?
Base 27?
Yeah.
Well, the numerical digits are the same. So, I guess you'd add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16.
H is 17, I is 18, J is 19.
K is 20, L is 21, M is 22.
N is 23, O is 24, P is 25.
Yeah, and? What comes after that?
Oh.
Q
Q.
26.
And what does that mean?
Wasn't a 9 on the door.
It was a Q. A fucking lowercase q.
0. 0 real talk. If my mouth wasn't already against my mic, I'd try and bring it closer to do the annoying ASMR thing, but 0. How in the hell was anyone supposed to know that? Yes, it's 2:30 in the morning, my inhibitions have gone out the window, you get sweary CA, I guess.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27.
My word, how was anyone supposed to realise that? God, my thighs are killing me. I swear, any moment now I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell in my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are gonna burst. Maybe just a short rest. No, can't stop. Don't have time. Also, we're still not addressing how Snake looks like that. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run. Run like a bullet down a rifled barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. Yes, like many metaphors, I'm sure. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally! I can barely breathe. No, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together, you're almost there.
Alright, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Yes! We're finally here!
Please do.
Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. But even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. Oh my gosh. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now. I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Ai's. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I think I've said that name about 7 different ways, I'm sorry. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. And not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped. We're finally able to escape from the gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone.
It's over.
How did we dredge that thing up to play the nunnery games again 9 years later? Because apparently it blew up both times, even if Akane died. I whispered.
Yeah.
It was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. It was only just beginning. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Yes, finally, air! Ugh. Wow, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. Oh, I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like... Were we in the heckin' Nevada building this whole time? No! The ship did sink and we were in Nevada!
No way.
You have gotta be kidding me.
What?
It can't be.
This is...
Oh my gosh! I did not... Oh, that's clever.
This is the building in the Nevada desert.
That's really clever.
the mock experiment building.
So Alice was never here anyway, because she was on the real Gigantic if she existed.
Oh my god. This whole time we were in Building Q.
Sure enough, that's a desert out there with mountains all around it. Hello there, son. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Right, our bracelets. I guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip, like in an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with. I mean, presumably there were on the Ninth Man and Guy X's. Figures.
Akane.
Jumpy!
Heh. Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. So, is she still dead? Where did Santa take Ace, June, and... who was June? Who was the June while we were playing then? Because... why would Santa be staring longingly at the photo if she's there? Also, well done on Ace's voice acting. I was thinking that at the end. He pulled off the crazy thing very well. Darn. But I still have questions, including why was Snake dressed like that? I guess we know about Alice now if she was actually on the Gigantic, but... huh? What have we just done? I'm kind of hoping for a post-credit scene. Because... did Junpei's thing at the end, like, hi, I must be crazy about her if I'm hearing her voice, mean that she's not actually there and she's dead? How is Ace gonna die? Because I presume he is gonna die because they killed the others. Whose idea was the murder? Like... if the whole thing was just to get Akane to survive, why did they have to kill the others if it wasn't a revenge plot? Couldn't they just have put people in and solved it legitimately? Answers?
Are you okay?
Oh, come on. This is nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look okay.
It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set.
How does it look then?
He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first.
Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing.
What does that even mean?
Junpei grinned and...
ow, 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 ow.
See? I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something.
Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing has a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building, keys in the ignition and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know. Anyway, we jumped in and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed into the back seat here. I still can't believe we let her drive, yeah, I was gonna say.
Woohoo! This is so fun! This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit.
And to be fair, the worst thing about driving is 100% other drivers, so that does sound pretty fun.
Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, alright? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help if I'm big, alright? Suck it up.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license.
Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and June are in should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
And Ace?
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Is he dead already?
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we?
Sure thing.
She doesn't have to drive so fast. I think she does. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. We're sure throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitten in gasoline. What the hell? The moment we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran up to them, furious. Yeah, you should! Budding psychopaths right there. No one hurt cats.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could.
Help me! Officer, please! You have to come with me!
The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big swelling lumps.
You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me?
I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out.
Yeah, I guess I coulda.
Then why didn't you?
I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good.
Because of what they were doing to the kitty.
Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester. Remember?
The rabbits.
Oh, you mean the bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies.
He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind.
They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbits. I couldn't forgive them for that, so I...
Seriously, how have these children not been arrested before? Good lord.
Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get.
Yeah, you and me both. Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do.
Like Ace. Well, I guess I should say Gitaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary Project? Anybody? Any ideas?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
He's still in the trunk, I assume?
Did we shove him in the back of our car? Yeah, he is. Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. His eyes just look empty. No emotion. Looks like he's just given up. I wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore.
Hey, were you listening to us?
Still interesting that they made him murder the others. Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth.
Come on, I know you were. Answer me.
You could at least look at me when you talk, man.
I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces.
Oh boy! Oh, they really had to pull in the last my disability was my motive, didn't they? But damn, the writing on this at least makes it feel somewhat interesting. I don't love the trope, but it was used more interestingly than usual here.
By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others.
It's the whole cool motive still murder thing though, let's face it.
That's it?
Yes, if you want to put it simply. But if you are looking for a more philosophical answer, I can supply that as well. You see, the human collective consciousness...
I think that's enough out of you, pal. Time for the tape to go back on.
All right, so what's your second question?
You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you?
Well, somebody's a little nosy.
Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Well, see, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic,
I guess maybe that's why you have so much hyper-specific knowledge about it, because you would have looked it up.
I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when I finally slipped up. And during the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Gordain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question.
Yeah, because they never brought Gordain up again.
Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature?
Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine, I'll let you talk, but you've got to behave.
What?
Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandragora, of the family Solanaceae.
Oh, is this how he made the drug that made them famous, then?
I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Soparu.
Yep.
Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly.
Oh, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, Hongo. The amount of, tape burn he's gonna have on his face is ridiculous. But that does mean that they've literally answered all of my questions, except for Snake's outfit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride. Also, has anyone told Lotus yet why
Here,
she was involved
this
and
is
that
for you.
this is where her daughters were? Because I don't think we've figured that out in this route.
What's this?
This is a for you doll. His name is Junpei.
Jumpy pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn, small enough to fit in his palm.
Jumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll?
Huh? Yeah, the lady at the shop said so that means it's for you, right?
Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll?
The answer was voodoo all along?
Wait, what? That's... Oh, man. Oh, man.
What an
Well,
idiot.
It sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right?
Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then.
Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden.
Well, you know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much?
After June.
I mean, we're gonna be in different schools, and I just thought I'd,
Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then?
Are you telling me that it was a voodoo doll on the ship this whole time?
Okay.
Because that's my other question I've just remembered. Whose body was on there?
So, I wanted to give you this.
You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie.
Literally no, but okay.
Yes. I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this, it me. So we always together.
Oh, Jumpy.
If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take.
I reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body.
Oh, Jumpy. I'll never forget you. I promise.
Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words.
I'll never forget you either.
The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat, bathed in the warm light of evening. Just the two of us, leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened and, one by one, the lights of the town began to flicker on.
There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago she died in the incinerator on the Gigantic. But she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the Morphic Field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then... how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense, he's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven... and also she distinctly said that she escaped with the rest of them. He said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or, wait... maybe that's not it at all. There is one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. Oh, I wonder if he was part of it then. But then why would Clover and Snake have thought that a girl still died? No. No way. He couldn't... Was this a Murder on the Orient Express thing all along? Was everyone in on it? I mean, except Ace and what's-his-name, the scientist, etc., but...
Hey, look! Over there! There's somebody next to the road.
Huh? What? Hmm?
Oh! Why is Alice hitchhiking in the Nevada desert? The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei realized who she was. What? You're really just gonna throw that in there and not say anything else? Finished all scenarios in 999. We did it. We finished the entire game. And it's yeeting us back to the beginning again. If the noise wasn't so darn obnoxious, I would leave it there, but I cannot tolerate that, so, okay, there we go. I'll have to add in some music, but... my word. It's 3 in the morning. This was a bad idea to play now, but what can you do? This was a fantastic game. I'm so glad that I bought it on a whim. I think I saw it recommended somewhere at some point, but... darn, the writing was so good. I don't know what else to say, really, other than what an experience. I had a fantastic time with this. I hope you did too. Puzzles aren't always my strong suit, but I think I did a decent job of answering the worst of them. Also, my page of notes remains utterly hellish. I'm gonna have to add a picture of that in here now that I'm not gonna spoil or anything, because this is a mess. But, oh my gosh. I still have a couple of questions. I do wonder about the whole June Akane thing, because for all they say Snake was blind, he's not stupid. Oh yeah, I'm kind of curious about what this is, actually. I've never watched it. Yeah, that was in fact a bit spoilery. Glad I didn't look at that earlier. But yeah, those videos often are, which is why I don't let them play when I'm explaining the start of the game. Gosh, what a time. I do still wonder about the Junakane thing, because I don't think you can just explain it away like that, because why would everyone else who was there think people had died? Also, are we ever going to tell Lotus what happened to her daughters and that's why she was there? Like, why was she chosen in particular for that? Why didn't they bring back Nona or her twin? It's just... huh? This is a lot. I had a fantastic time with this, though. I'm very curious about Virtue's Last Reward, because I know there's another game in this series. I also have that with the Zero Escape bundle. I don't see how this game needs a sequel. I may still have questions, but I don't think that they're ones that particularly need answering. I think they told the story they wanted to tell. So I don't know whether it was just a cash grab or whether it's actually any good. I haven't... yeah, thank you. I haven't seen anything about it. I've only seen stuff about 999 online, and even that was very little. I think I saw it mentioned like once or twice. But what a game! I'm so glad I played this, and I really hope that you enjoyed coming along for the ride. Yeah, I'm going to talk in circles if I keep going, I think, so let me know if you'd be interested in seeing Virtue's Last Reward. I'm not 100% sure if I'll play it. I don't hate the idea, but this was a lot, so I'll need a good break, I think. And thank you for putting up with my channel. I know I'm a lackluster uploader. I'm sorry, my life is just complicated. Too much to go into here, but genuinely thank you for putting up with me and for sticking around. And if you'd like to see more of this nonsense, I promise that there will be some at some point, whenever that may be, so until then, thank you so much for watching, especially with the length of this episode. I really appreciate it, and goodbye.